That was a loud clunk. We're gonna have to check this out. Now I've got this in a safe area so we can check it out, but before we do, have you seen our app? Do you see a problem, hear a problem, feel a problem, or smell a problem? I hear a problem, obviously. It was a clunking coming from under the car. So click into that. And then here's a whole bunch of helpful videos with everything you're gonna wanna know. Now I've got my vehicle in a safe area to complete a diagnosis. Since I had a clunking over bumps, it leads me towards thinking I have an issue with the front end. Other issues that you might happen to have if you had an issue with the front end, aside from that clunking noise over bumps, could be a swaying from one side or the other. This can even happen on a straight road due to road crown. If you have some sort of loose suspension, you're going to have to correct it. Other than that, you might find that you have poor tire wear. It could either be chopping or even worn on the outboard or inboard side. Diagnosing front end issues can be different depending on the type of vehicle you're working on. If your vehicle has independent suspension, like this vehicle right here, you're going to find that you have an upper and a lower control arm, and each of those will have a ball joint. Aside from that, you might have a solid state differential, which will make its way from one side of the vehicle all the way over to the other, and along each side is where you're going to find your upper and lower ball joints. The diagnosis is going to be a little bit different depending on which type you have. As for the independent suspension, we have a jack going across, and it's directly underneath that lower control arm, holding upward pressure, essentially giving ground force to that suspension so we can diagnose it. I'm going to use a long pry bar for leverage. Make my way directly underneath the tire, and I'm going to gently pry up and down, and we're trying to feel for some movement here. If you do feel movement in this action, it's typically from the lower ball joint. It could be from the upper ball joint, but it's a little less likely, or even that wheel bearing. Continuing on, we're going to go up along the top area of the wheel. We're going to apply some pressure here, pressing the top portion of the tire in and out. If you have movement in this area, it's typically from the upper ball joint area, so that's where you want to focus. Now your ball joint should be able to pivot and twist as your suspension oscillates up and down, but they should definitely not have movement like this. Continuing from here, we're just going to shake that tire from side to side, and this is going to check your tie rod ends, whether it's the inner or the outer. You want to pay attention to those, and of course that wheel bearing. And lastly, just a quick spin here. If you have any movement or even a humming noise coming from this, it's typically a wheel bearing issue. Now it's pretty clear we do have a front end clunk coming from this vehicle. We're going to quickly remove the wheel so we can have a closer look. It's not recommended to check this type of suspension. With the suspension hanging, you may not feel any movement. Now we have our wheel off, we have a close view of all of the steering and front suspension on this side of the vehicle. Upper control arm with its ball joint leading to the knuckle, the lower control arm, its corresponding ball joint once again leading to the knuckle. We have our inner tie rod end and our outer tie rod end. And on this vehicle we have our sway bar link bushings and sway bar links. On this application I can see that my sway bar link is actually broken. That sway bar link leads from its sway bar down to the control arm, so that'll need to be replaced. I applied some upward pressure so we can have a close look at that upper ball joint with the wheel out of the way. Any movement in this area means that you need the ball joint, but we're not going to stop there. At 1A Auto, we also sell the entire control arm for ease of replacement. On this application, you can see that it's very rusted. Wow. And looking in here at the frame, the bushings are in very poor condition. I can almost pull out chunks of rubber here. That's really bad. Now, does it make any sense to only replace this ball joint but leave the rusted control arm with poor bushings in place? Of course it doesn't. Go to 1A Auto, order the parts you need as a kit. You can get everything you need shipped directly to you. As far as the ball joints, we want to have a quick look at the control arms that those are attached to. A little bit of rust is pretty much cosmetic, but if it looks like it's rotted, weak, or damaged in any way, of course you're going to want to replace the entire control arm. It only makes sense to replace the entire control arm rather than trying to replace the ball joint from a rusted control arm and replacing each of those bushings at the same time. Other than that, you also want to pay attention to things that might be attached to that control arm. On this one in particular, it does actually have a torsion bar making its way from the control arm to a cross member around the center of the vehicle. These can be fairly difficult to remove from the control arms, so if you don't have to replace the entire control arm, it's not rotted, damaged, the bushings are good, it's really just the ball joint. In that instance, I would recommend replacing only the ball joint. Now we know exactly what we need, we've got it, I'm going to install it, and then we're going to take it for a road test to confirm we fixed that noise. On my application, I found that I had to replace the entire upper control arm with the ball joint. As for the lower ball joint, it was really only the lower ball joint was bad, the control arm itself and the bushings were good, so we just replaced the ball joint. And of course I replaced both of my front sway bar links as a pair, and now I'm going to take this down to my local alignment shop.